continue this discussion with Hogan Gidley, former Deputy White House Press Secretary for President Trump. Hogan, good to see you on the show once again. I guess we knew that this fourth indictment was coming this month. It wasn't a matter of if, but just what day this was going to come down. Just your top-line thoughts when it broke last night and what it means for your former boss.
Well, look, I think it means pretty much what all the rest of them mean, and that is a shot in the arm for Donald Trump, because in large measure, Republican voters, and I would argue a lot of independents, are a little bit nervous about the fact that the federal government has been weaponized against them in so many different ways. It's not just Donald Trump. I mean, they're going after people. If you like the wrong tweet, if you download the wrong podcast, if you attend the wrong speech, they're coming for you. These three-letter agencies now have been shown to attack those they disagree with. People inside those agencies with their own political axes to grind have come out in full force. This one's no different. It's another in a long line of hoaxes, of witch hunts. And it seems as though she's just going after anything and everything she can get her hands on. It's not just his speeches, but it's also his tweets, his phone calls, everything she can say he did wrong, she will. And what's fascinating to me here is, if we're going to make it a crime to question elections and their outcomes, then we better start hauling Nancy Pelosi into prison, or Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, Hillary Clinton, all of whom said that their elections were stolen from them. And it was Democrats like Jamie Raskin, who sat atop the January 6th committee, who refused to seat electors in Donald Trump's election for president in 2016. And not to mention Benny Thomas from Mississippi did the same thing in 2016. And it's also been Democrats since Ronald Reagan that refused to seat electors, claiming fraud and all types of irregularities and anomalies for decades in this country. And there's one person missing from this indictment, actually, that quite frankly shocked me, and that was Stacey Abrams. Remember, she still claims she was the duly elected governor of that state. So it's quite concerning to me that this weaponization continues, not just against Donald Trump, but everybody else in this country who holds a particular political point of view.
I do think a lot of people, whether you love him or hate him, think the timing of this is probably interesting, right? You know, you start getting serially indicted 4 months after you re-announce a new campaign. Speaking of names, though, in this indictment, it included 18 other allies: Rudy Giuliani, former acting White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, just to name a couple. What do you make of the allegations against them here? I mean, are they trying to get them to flip on the former president, or what's the tactic?
Well, two things. One is, you mentioned the timing. It's also important to note that she wants this trial, does Fani Willis, in the next several months. I mean, she interviewed like 75 people. Prosecutors have not had a time to go through this indictment, prepare a defense, also interview those witnesses. So it's clear that she's trying to do this right in the middle of campaign season, and the election would fall somewhere around the New Hampshire primary. So timing is everything for her. But as it relates to everybody else, it appears as though, you know, as common practice in these types of things, and I'm no attorney, but this is what I read and what I understand, is that they do try to get everybody at every level and try to get the lower level folks to flip, try to get them to say something negative about someone high atop this indictment, i.e. Donald Trump. But again, just asking questions or utilizing your First Amendment rights under the Constitution don't necessarily mean you can come after them in some violation just because you don't like what they're asserting or what they're trying to figure out. Because, as I said, Democrats have been doing it for decades in this country.
Another question that I had for you, just your take on cameras in the courtroom. You know, unlike the cases against President Trump in D.C., New York, Georgia does allow cameras in the courtroom with the judge's approval. And I know there have been kind of stark, polarizing opinions on this. Should these cases be televised, do you think?
Look, I think it was Mike Tyson who said it best. Everyone has a game plan until they get punched in the mouth. This is one of those deals where Republicans want cameras in the courtroom in some instances. Democrats want cameras in the courtroom in other instances. I don't know who it helps or hurts here. I do find one thing interesting. A lot of the conversations around 2020 had to do with evidence of fraud and irregularities and anomalies. And a lot of those never were heard in court. So in essence, we're going to have to litigate some of the things that weren't ever heard in front of a jury or weren't ever heard in front of a judge because they were thrown out due to standing, which is basically a fancy legal term that says you don't have the right to bring the case. So now we're going to see some of these things litigated, not for overturning anything. Everyone calm down. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to point out is you're going to see a lot of problems that occurred in 2020 and A lot of those problems occurred, as I mentioned, for decades in this country, and they're going to be brought to the fore, and people are going to go, wait a minute. You're telling me all of these instances were occurring in this state? I mean, the Secretary of State admitted they had over 100,000 people on the voter rolls in Georgia that had no right to be there, that were there fraudulently or were there illegally. So there are all types of things we're going to have to litigate in a courtroom that no one saw for the last 3 years. I think that's going to be an interesting piece no one's really focused on right now because they're worried about Donald Trump. Waiting to see what happens when the evidence comes out and watch the public opinion sway a bit, I think.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.